Teddy would like to join us apparently for this video. Can you hear his purring? Hi everyone, Jess here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about Etsy fees. More specifically, I want to break down Etsy fees and make them less complicated and scary for you. I want to break them down and show you exactly what Etsy expects you to pay. This is Teddy, by the way. He decided he wanted to hang out, so we're just gonna have him hang out with us for a little bit. Hey buddy, holding him like a baby, honestly. Okay. So I've been running my own Etsy business, Ethereal, since 2008. So I've been on the platform for a very long time. And in that time, the fees and charges have changed over the years. They've done lots of different things. They change something, I feel like it's probably every year, and people kind of freak out and go, oh my God, this thing has changed. Is it still worth selling on Etsy anymore? Is it too expensive to sell on Etsy? Should I be selling somewhere else? The fees are just too much. So I see a lot of myths about the fees on Etsy, and we're just gonna let Teddy go. See you, buddy. How much fur can one cat produce, honestly? So I see a lot of people freaking out when Etsy change fees, and a lot of people who are considering selling on the platform who are like, it seems really expensive. Surely there are cheaper places to sell my handmade goods. It's too expensive to sell on Etsy, etc., etc., etc. So I wanted to kind of bust the myth of how expensive it is to sell on Etsy by actually giving you a breakdown of exactly how much you're going to have to pay in fees if you want to sell on Etsy. Now, the first thing I just want to get out of the way and remind you about is that it costs money to make money. If you want to sell online, you are going to have to pay fees to somebody, and those fees are just going to vary depending on the platform that you use or the payment processor that you use. You can't avoid paying fees at all. It's just part of doing business, and you need to accept that, and you need to just be a smart business person and go, okay, these are the fees I'm going to have to pay on this platform. Therefore, I need to account for those fees in my prices on that platform. And again, don't be afraid to have slightly different prices on different platforms. My prices on Etsy are higher because the fees are higher than on my own website. And also another issue on Etsy is that I need to take taxes, but we'll get into that. So don't be afraid to make sure that you've worked out your fees for every platform that you're on, and make sure your prices are set accordingly to make sure that you are accounting for and covering those fees so you're not losing out. All right, let's get started, and I'm going to break down all of the fees that Etsy will charge you. Before we keep going, if you'd like me to do a future video on how to price your products, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do lots more videos, and I have lots more videos on my channel already about how to succeed on Etsy and how to succeed with a handmade business. So go to my main channel page and check those out after you finish watching this video. Okay, so let's start with the additional / optional fees that you may or may not end up paying. I just want to get them out of the way before we get to the nitty-gritty fees. So the first one is Etsy ads fee. So this is if you choose to advertise on Etsy itself within the Etsy platform. You will then sign up and use Etsy ads. Now, you can set whatever budget you want here. I think the minimum is $1 a day. Whatever budget you want to set, you can set. So this is an optional fee structure, and they will just spend that money each day, and that will come out of your income. So that's an optional one. You don't have to choose to be part of Etsy ads. The second one is delivery fees. So if you do shipping labels through Etsy, they're going to charge you for those shipping labels. So do your research, check, are Etsy shipping labels cheaper or more expensive than another shipping option that you might be able to take? Do the research and look into that, and that will help you to decide whether the delivery within Etsy delivery shipping label system is the way you want to go, or if you just want to charge your shipping separately and ship another way. Subscription fees. If you decide to sign up to Etsy Plus, it's $10 USD a month. You do get some perks back from that, like some free listings and stuff, like a bit of money towards Etsy ads. But if that's a completely optional extra, I don't have Etsy Plus. I don't really recommend Etsy Plus. I don't really see the point of it. But if you do want to sign up for that, then that is a $10 a month fee, US dollars. in-person selling fee. So if you sell via your Etsy shop in person, so if you use your Square Reader hooked to your Etsy shop to sell at a market, for example, you're actually paying Square's payment processing and transaction fees rather than Etsy's. So just be aware of that and make sure you look into how much Square is going to charge you to sell using that platform. The final one is Pattern. So this is Etsy's DIY, set up your own website. So it looks like your website, but it's really still an Etsy shop option that you could do if you wanted like your own .com and you just want it to link to your Etsy shop and basically be your Etsy shop, but it looks different. This is $15 per month is the fee to have a Pattern site. Okay, so now we're getting into the really important fees, the ones that you are going to have to pay if you are going to sell on the Etsy platform. The first one is your listing fee. So this is 20 US cents for every single item you list on Etsy. Pretty straightforward. This also goes for anything you renew, either automatically or manually. Every time you renew an item in your Etsy shop, you are going to be charged 20 US cents. The second fee is your transaction fee. So that's a 5% fee on your sales price and your shipping. So put your price for your item and your shipping costs together, and you're going to be paying them a 5% cut of that money that you're making from those two things. So keep that in mind when you're calculating your price and your shipping, that you're going to be paying 5% on both of them. Next, we have we're getting a little bit more complicated here, so bear with me. The next thing you have are payment processing fees, okay? So if you use Etsy Payments, I'm going to quote directly from Etsy. Etsy Payments users can pay with and accept payment by credit card, debit card, Etsy gift card, Etsy credit, some bank transfer services, PayPal where available, Apple Pay, Google Pay, etc. This is a bit of a sneaky fee, okay? So you have your transaction fee, so that you've already paid. You paid the 5% of your transaction fee to Etsy. Then on top of that, you pay your payment processing fee, all right? So this is the fee that Etsy charges to be a payment processor, or to give you the option of using all these different payment processors. This fee varies by country. So I'm going to put a link in the description below. It's etsy.com. Here in Australia, it's au/legal/etsy-payments. This is going to give you a list of all the payment processing fees dependent on your country. So for those of us in Australia, we pay 3% plus 25 Australian cents for domestic orders. Then we pay 4% plus 25 Australian cents for international orders. So already we're up to the point where we've got a 5% transaction fee. Then we've got, if we're selling internationally, another 4% payment processing fee, plus the listing fee, plus the extra 25 Australian cents they pay us for the transaction fee. So that's our fees so far. Just for those of you in a few other countries, in the US, this is 3% plus 25 US cents. In the UK, it's 4% plus 20 pence. Make sure to go and check this out and work out what the payment processing fees are in your country, if they're different for your domestic sales versus your international sales. Now, on top of this, we have a currency conversion fee potentially. Again, I'll quote from Etsy. As an Etsy Payments user, if you decide to list in a currency other than your own, you will be charged a 2.5% currency conversion fee on the sale amount to send funds to your payment account. So I, for example, list in US dollars on Etsy because the majority of my customers are US, and I want to make sure they get a nice round figure on when they go looking at my shop. So I get to pay another 2.5% currency conversion fee. You may or may not. If your currency that you list in is the same as the currency you get paid into your payment account, you shouldn't be paying this fee. But again, look at the links below. I've got links to the Etsy information on this, and you can figure out whether or not you'll be charged this fee. And you should be able to see it in your Etsy CSV as well. Okay, so the next fee that they may charge is taxes. So Etsy may or may not collect taxes, and that's not really a fee per se, but it is something to be aware of if Etsy do or do not collect taxes for where you are. So if you're in an American state that collects sales tax, Etsy collects that for you. For me here in Australia, I'm registered for GST, which is our general sales tax, which is a 10% fee that we have to pay the government on goods that we sell within the country. And Etsy won't do that for me. They used to. They took it away. I don't know why. Anyway, so whenever I make a sale domestically on Etsy, I have to remember that another 10% of that has to come out, or 10% of the total sale price has to come off that and get paid as tax. So be aware of any taxes that you are going to be having to pay. This is not an Etsy fee per se, but it's just something you need to be aware of if you are working out your prices. Okay, finally, we're going to talk about the offsite ads fee. Now, let me just clarify quickly about the two types of advertising on Etsy. There are the Etsy ads, which I mentioned earlier. That is advertising on the Etsy platform, and it is completely optional. Now I'm talking about the offsite ads. These are ads that Etsy run elsewhere. So they run ads on places like Instagram, Pinterest, Google, Facebook, where they use your products to advertise Etsy as a platform. Okay, so I'm going to break this down because I know a lot of people are worried about this, so I want to be very clear on it. Offsite ads fees, there's two tiers here. So I'm just going to read from my screen. It's optional if you sell less than $10,000 in the last 365 days. However, if you sell more than $10,000 in the last 365 days, it is mandatory. They opt you in and you cannot opt out. Now, there are two different fee structures. If you earn less than $10,000 in the last 365 days, you get charged 15% if you opt in to the offsite ads. So it's an optional thing at this point. You can choose to turn them on or to leave them switched off. If you turn them on, you get charged 15% fee on your attributed orders. So attributed orders are basically a person has clicked on an ad that features your product. If they buy from you within, I think it's a 30 days, like 30-day cookie, then you are going to pay Etsy a 15% fee for that. If you're in the mandatory program, I'm in the mandatory program, I cannot opt out. So the fee for those of us in the mandatory program is 12%. So if somebody sees one of my products advertised somewhere else, clicks through, ends up buying it, or anything else from my shop, then I pay a 12% fee. Now, a couple of little things to know about this. If you fall below the $10,000 in 365-day threshold, you keep the 12% the 12% fee rate, which is great. So if you were doing really well and you got opted in automatically, if you drop below it, you then stay with the 12% advertising fee. Another thing to know is that there's no limit to the number of offsite ads fees that you may be charged for attributed orders. However, the total offsite ads fee you'll pay on a single attributed order will not exceed $100. So if you have very high price items, that's a nice thing to know, but for most of us, probably won't have much impact. So that is a breakdown of all the fees. Now, let me give you an example, a couple of examples, which put it all together and give you a total. Okay, so let's get to it. So for my domestic sales, so sales within Australia, this is what I pay. I pay a listing fee per product. This is 20 US cents. I pay a transaction fee. That's 5% on everything, the product price and the shipping. I then pay a 3% plus 25 Australian cents payment processing fee. And then I pay a 2.5% currency conversion fee because I list in a currency different to my payment account. So this is 10.5% plus about 50 Australian cents. And I used a ballpark conversion rate there to convert 20 US cents into about 25 Australian cents. Then I have to pay 10% GST on the sale price of my item. So let's round that up to 20.5% plus 50 Australian cents that I pay on my domestic orders on Etsy. Now, only 10.5% of that is Etsy fees. 10.5% plus 50 cents Australian. The extra 10% is separate, that's my GST. But that's what I end up having to pay out of one of my Etsy sales is 20.5%. Now, if I sell that product via offsite ads, I have to add another 12% to that. So that adds up to a possible final total of fees of 32.5% plus 50 Australian cents. Again, if I take GST out of that, it's only going to be 22.5%. So that's the Etsy fees is 22.5% plus 50 Australian cents. That is what I'm going to have to pay on any domestic orders with all of those things put in place. Okay, let's break down international orders. What do I have to pay for that myself? I have my listing fee, 20 US cents per product. Transaction fee, 5% on product and shipping costs. Etsy payment processing fee is now 4%. It was 3% for domestic, 4% plus 25 Australian cents. And then a currency conversion fee of 2.5%. This gives me a total of 11.5% plus 50 Australian cents. Now, I don't have to worry about GST here because I'm selling internationally and we don't charge GST on international sales. So the only other thing I have to worry about now is offsite ads. If I sell this item via offsite ads, that adds another 12% to give me a total of 23.5% plus 50 Australian cents. If you do use Etsy payments, and I'm guessing most of you probably do, then again, I'm going to link here below to the page on Etsy which tells you about the currency conversion fees if you do list in a separate currency from the one that you get your money in your bank account. And you can go check out the currency conversion there to work out the transaction fee. So there you go. Basically, ballpark, I'm paying around 10 to 12%. If I'm just paying the foundational basic fees on Etsy. That's really not that much, and it's pretty standard across the board to be paying that much in fees. Where it gets a bit more complicated and a bit more expensive is if the offsite ads come into play and if tax comes into play. So you can see how it can be a little bit complex, but really if you just sit down and do the sums and put it all together, you can get a very simple, clear idea on exactly how much you are paying in your Etsy fees. Now, it's going to be different for everybody because of all these different things that go into it. Are you paying a currency conversion fee? Does Etsy charge you separately for your domestic and international orders a different payment processing fee? Do you have offsite ads? If so, are you being charged 12% or 15%? So whenever you see people talking about this and everyone's like, Etsy fees are this much or that much, remember, Etsy fees are different for everybody depending on your situation, and it's very simple and straightforward to work it out. You just need to go look at the Etsy documents, go through there and pull the different percentages together for you and your business. But chances are it's going to be around this 10-ish% mark for most people. It might even be a little bit less if you don't have the currency conversion fees. Again, I've linked to the relevant documents where I got this information from Etsy in the description below. So please do use those links to go work out what your own Etsy fees are. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you found this helpful, if it gave you a bit of peace of mind as to how much your Etsy fees are going to be, if it helped you to figure that out and think a little bit more about that. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you found this content helpful, and hopefully it will also help the Etsy algorithm. I'm all about Etsy right now. Hopefully it will also help the YouTube algorithm to show this video to other Etsy sellers and help them get their heads around this Etsy fee situation. It's really not as complicated as people make it out to be. It takes a few minutes to work it out, but once you've worked it out, it's done. You've got it figured out. You can use it to work out your prices and making sure that you're covering these fees so that you are earning a profit from your Etsy sales. If you'd like to know about how I organize my finances once that money hits my bank account and how I organize my personal and business finances, I just did a video on that. You can check it out. I'll put a link up here, a card up here. You can check it out over on my channel. I go into complete detail about exactly how I organize and automate all of my money to make sure I'm saving for taxes and retirement and all those other things. And if you'd like to join me for a live workshop on your business finances, come on over and become a member of my membership community for makers, the Thriver Circle, over at thrivercircle.com. I've got a live workshop coming up at the end of the month where I'm going to be teaching you and talking to you about that and helping you through that. If you watch this later, don't worry. You may have missed a live workshop, but there's a recording of it available inside the Thriver Circle. I record and have all of my workshops available for future members to come and watch and use. I'll be back again soon with another video. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye for now.